We've been talking about large hole beads today, and Mark Nelson is here to show us how to solder end caps onto chain. So this is something that you can do when you're creating your own symbolic jewelry.
Exactly. It's a pretty simple, easy technique, allowing you to use any length of chain that you want, so you can customize it. Let's say if you need like a 17-inch or 14-inch or 23-inch necklace, you can buy it in bulk and put your own end caps on, kind of customize it just the way you like it.
All right, and so if you were using large hole beads, you can make the end caps really close to the chain so that they'll slide through and be interchangeable.
Exactly.
All right. Well, show us how to get started.
Okay, well, I picked two chains to show you on. One is the regular ball chain, which is really kind of hard to find end caps for, or a connecting device,
Right.
like clasp and things. But if you solder an end cap on, then you can pretty much use any kind of clasp you want.
Oh, good idea.
And if you look up on this block here, you can see that this kind of end cap has a little hole in there, like that. And that can go right over the bead.
Okay.
Okay.
And then soldering, of course, will make it permanent.
Exactly. It's strong, too.
Great.
Gotta use your safety glasses when you're doing this. And I'm gonna use this little torch here, a little propane and oxygen. And just need a nice little flame is all you need. Okay. So one of the things we have to do is we have to protect it from getting fire scale and turning black and all that stuff. So we're going to take this little mixture here of boric acid powder and denatured alcohol, and we're just going to dab some on there, on all the pieces.
Okay. And what's your block that you're working on?
This is a charcoal block. It's actually a hard charcoal block, and we'll burn that alcohol off.
Is that just to protect your work surface?
Yeah, it's to protect the work surface and to actually reflect the heat into the metal.
Oh, okay, so it's doing some work for you.
Exactly. And what I'm going to do now is use a paste solder. This makes the job really easy to do. And what it is it's powdered solder mixed with flux.
And does that ever dry out?
It can, actually. And what you can do is you rehydrate it with mineral oil, and it should last you quite a while.
Okay.
So all we need to do is put a little smear in here.
And you're using, is that an awl?
This is actually a soldering pick.
Oh.
It's made out of titanium. So the solder, if I were to heat this up, will not stick to it.
Oh.
And we'll just shove this right on there, like that.
So you just choose an end cap that's pretty close to the sides of your chain.
Exactly. And what we'll do is heat this up, and there should be a puff of smoke. You gotta do this fast. See that flame?
Yes.
Burning off? And this is an easy solder, which means it's gonna melt at about 1100 degrees. And we're just about there, and it's gone.
Wow.
That fast.
Wow.
And when you solder, you do want a ventilated area to pull these fumes away from you as you work.
Because it creates a little bit of vapor.
Yeah. And I have here a mild acid solution called pickle. And we'll let that sit in there for just a little bit, clean up, and I can show you a different way to do it.
Okay.
This is a snake chain, here again. By putting an end cap on there, allows you the ability to put any kind of clasp you like on there. And they finish the chain, they make it look professional.
Yeah. And then you can create any custom length. And the way that you're doing this, you could really fit that through a large hole bead very easily, or add symbolic charms or other things that are meaningful onto your necklace.
Exactly. Now, in order to put on a clasp, you usually have to put a jump ring onto the end of a chain.
Right.
And what you do is just take that jump ring off, feed the chain through with the end cap on, and reattach the jump ring.
Okay.
So I have this little end cap here, and I just squoze it? Is that a word? Squoze it?
It's okay. You can say squoze it.
Okay.
We'll know what you mean.
And I just kind of press this on there. And
So you just use the end of your tweezers to squeeze it on there? Okay.
And
And is that made from wire, or is that an official end cap that you put on there?
it's an official end cap that you buy in bulk.
Oh, okay.
And here again, I'm going to use some paste solder. And it's sticky, so you can just put some right where you need it.
Hold it down.
There we go.
Great. So you really just sort of smear the solder on there.
Yeah, you try, not try to get too creative with it, but you need to have it touching the ends wherever you need solder, that's where you need it touching.
Okay.
See it ball up right there?
Oh, yeah.
And we come there.
Oh, wow.
That fast.
And it looks really finished.
And it will too. And when we're done, we'll rinse these in water. So now that this other one's been in here, oh, came out.
So those are going to sit in your pickle, and then you're rinsing it off in water after the pickle, right?
Right. And what you can do is actually put a little baking soda in this water, and that'll help neutralize the acid too, as well.
To stop the process.
Right.
Okay.
So there we are. We got this on there.
It looks really good.
It is on there too.
And it's permanent.
It's permanent, and now you can create your own length of chain and any length that you want.
Really in a matter of minutes.
Yeah.
And what is this surface right here that's protecting our bench?
This is a silk-core tile, and it's a little denser and harder than the charcoal block. So most things that happen when you're soldering are usually when things fall off. And so if you really want to protect your surface, put like a big tile underneath your work surface, like the charcoal block, and that'll help from burn marks and things and dropping in your seats, things like that.
And what about you used this torch, is this a lighter, a special lighter that you use with the torch?
Not really, it's not really special, but it is very handy. It's like a little spark plug.
Yeah, I've never seen one.
Sounds like crickets in the summertime.
And then your other torch, what is that for?
Same deal. You want me to do one with that?
Sure.
Okay. We'll just put this all together real fast.
Okay.
You can do this, put this on there.
And always remember to use this liquid because that's going to protect it from turning the rest of it black, right?
Right, right.
Okay.
Yeah, put a
little bit of solder.
little solder in there. Put it right in that hole. Yeah.
So how do you decide which torch you're using when you solder?
The job. The smaller the job, the smaller the torch you should have. This one is a little bit big, but it'll do the job just fine.
So, and this is a pretty common one that people might have around their studio that they could use.
Yes, it's a very common torch. Runs on butane, and there it goes.
And then again, you're going to drop this in the pickle.
Right.
And then put it in the water solution.
Exactly.
Well, Mark, this looks so much easier than I thought it would be.
Oh, great, good. I'm glad I made it look that way.
Yeah, thanks for showing us. Well, next we're going to visit with Leslie.